where they drain your blood repeatedly to keep your body's iron levels in check.
No, your ferritin level.
Unfortunately, anemia is much more complicated, and iron supplements can be toxic even to people with anemia.
Correct.
But there is some good news.
So eat a species-appropriate, species-specific diet. Meat and associated fat. Simple.
It's just counterintuitive until you think about it. Many women of YouTube report that ferrous bisglycinate found in gentle iron supplements is easier on their stomachs than other forms of iron.
So what?
These are the only iron pills I've ever found that don't hurt your stomach.
I ended up coming to find the Mega Food Blood Builder, which has been by far the best iron.
That's good news, but I wanted to find somebody above our pay grades to see if they could explain what's going on.
So a janitor then, Chris. Is there a janitor there on the campus that can help?
Behind that, and is there even a better source? Andrew James is a very respected professor.
Again, respected by whom? Who's to decide who is respected and who is not? And this is a professor of obstetrics and gynecology, not of hematology. Chris, you're incredible. You can't even determine which experts you should talk to or which ones you shouldn't bother with.
At Duke, who specializes in maternal fetal medicine.
Not hematology then?
I wondered if she spoke above my pay grade.
Yes, because the janitor there does, Chris.
We had a 20-year-old Gravida 1 at 29 weeks with a large left iliofemoral DVT.
Okay, that's a yes. But she spent decades of her career being frustrated by oral iron supplements and looking for better supplements that she could explain to the rest of us.
I spent years just prescribing oral iron and...
Well, then that was what you did wrong. You should have been telling people to eat meat.
More oral iron and more oral iron, and sometimes with no effect whatsoever.
It turns out the key thing is the amount of elemental iron, and it's not what you expect.
Interestingly, the two at the bottom that are...
You should not be consuming elemental iron at all. It is toxic. Your body doesn't want that. It wants heme iron. Eat meat.
Touted as the most well-tolerated. Well, isn't that interesting? They have the very lowest amount of...
Isn't it amazing? The thing that's tolerated the best is the one that contains the lowest effective amount of the toxic substance that your body doesn't want. Incredible.
Of elemental iron.
She cites some compelling research on what makes some
You don't know what compelling research is, Chris. You have no idea. You are incompetent to assess research in health, nutrition, fitness, physiology, or anything remotely connected to it.
Supplements work and others not.
Increased iron consumption can increase hepcidin, which will block further iron absorption from the gut and will trap iron in the liver and spleen.
Exactly. One of the many reasons why elemental iron should not be consumed.
And result in a decrease in plasma iron. And the results from this study showed that alternate day dosing resulted in 34% greater cumulative iron absorption, which is counterintuitive. The authors suggested
No, it isn't if you have any brains.
that low-dose iron given on alternate days may maximize absorption, increase efficacy, reduce gastrointestinal distress, and what we were all aiming for, improve compliance.
Which actually, all of those things could be achieved by telling people to eat meat.
What? We know that women can only absorb between 1 and 3 milligrams of iron a day, so how did we get the idea to put these megadoses in the supplements? Ha-ha, I know the answer. Finally, a question that's not above my pay grade. It's the ghost of Geritol past.
No, you don't know the answer, clearly.
Twice the iron in a whole pound of calf's liver.
Dr. James isn't the only expert I found compelling. There's a professor at Cambridge University who developed a supplement from a form of iron that's actually found in food.
Ferrous iron produces free radicals in your intestines. It will impact on your gut microflora. The bad guys tend to prosper, the good guys not so much, and it alters your intestinal balance. All of this leads to a range of side effects. Things like nausea, dizziness, you get bloated, and at the extreme you may even start experiencing blood in your feces. Ferric iron, in contrast, is the good guy. This is the type of iron that you get from your food. It will be present in things like greens, vegetables, pulses. However,
none of those things are food, and neither is Fe3+.
ferric-based supplements are not very well absorbed. So our research is mostly about copying nature.
In which case, tell people to eat meat. For goodness sake. No? Okay.
Nature has found a solution to this problem
Yes, it's called heme iron.
a long time ago.
Yes, it's called heme iron.
And that solution is called ferritin, and this is an iron storage protein.
No, oh my God. How is it possible? How is it possible that these people can be so fucking stupid?
And that is quite well absorbed without all of the issues that are associated to supplements, ferrous supplements. Ferritin is a protein that contains an iron oxide mineral inside.
That's the storage form in your body.
So you've got a protein shell and an iron oxide inside. The shell protects the iron oxide mineral up until the point it gets absorbed into cells. And at that
Or you could just eat some meat with heme iron in it and your body would produce its own, as it was supposed to.
stage, because it's surrounding it, it destabilizes the iron oxide. It allows it to fall apart. And when it falls apart, it releases iron in a way that our body can absorb it. We're quite excited about this. We've had very promising data, and hopefully we'll be able to take it to patients as soon as possible. Our hope is that we'll produce something that is as absorbable as ferrous supplements, but as safe as ferric iron supplements.
I looked for supplements like that and found Ferritin Plus, which looked promising because it's made from peas and it's a very low dose, 20 milligrams. By the way, the form of iron in geritol is a pure iron powder called carbonyl, which was developed in the 20s by the electronics company BASF for magnetic recording tape. If you think ingesting free iron is a good idea despite what the experts say, I have some extra nails you can grind up and then bon appetit. By the way, all the books and experts I could find said vegans and vegetarians have a higher incidence of anemia than meat eaters do. Meat eaters still get anemic, but not as much.
I wonder why that is.
It's the flip side of iron toxicity as you age. I asked Dr. Clapper, a vegan doctor, about vegans and iron.
There is no such thing as a vegan doctor.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good to see you.
There he is, Dr. Clapped Out.
You're looking good as
No, he's not.
always.
Oh, thank you. So are you?
Must be something about what you're eating, I guess.
I guess it's the water.
What's the deal with iron? And
Yeah. So, there's an old saying, you aren't what you eat, you are what you absorb. And iron has always been a challenging mineral to absorb.
No, it hasn't. We've been doing it for at least 4.5 million fucking years. We've been absorbing iron perfectly well by eating meat the entire time.
The absorption fraction of the iron that you actually swallow is about 1%.
Elemental iron, yes.
So knowing that,
And that's for good reason, because it's toxic.
anything that further reduces iron absorption might put a person on the low end of their iron balance.
Like only eating things that contain elemental iron and not eating the species-appropriate, species-specific diet, which includes a large amount of meat, that would place you at risk. Yes, absolutely.
And one of them turns out to be a type of carbohydrate called phytic acid, the phytates in dark green leafy vegetables, which the plant eaters are encouraged to eat a lot of. And if a person has been eating a whole lot of dark green leafy vegetables and they're not either well cooked or importantly well chewed,
So anti-nutrients that leach minerals from your body. It's almost as if the plants have a mechanism by which they're trying to discourage you from eating them. Goodness.
eating greens, you got to chew them to a cream to break up the cell walls to allow for the iron absorption to happen. The insufficient chewing and high phytate diet probably mitigates against huge amounts of iron absorption, but again, probably not a bad thing. Too much iron is not a good thing. Iron overload is a known clinical entity.
Yes, in people with hemochromatosis or thalassemia or metabolic syndrome. but not in a general healthy population. No, not at all. False.
And it's not good. Going back to that lowish ferritin level, body probably knows what it's doing.
Yeah, the body does know what it's doing. Absolutely. Yes, that's right. It's you clowns that don't know what you're doing. It's you propagandists, you spin doctors, you priests of the Church of Anorexia Vegana, you criminal misanthropists. You are the ones that don't know what you're doing.
And yes, I see frequently lowish ferritin levels, which is the amount of stored iron in the body. But again, I don't look at it necessarily as a bad thing. That said, you don't want to run short of iron, especially if you are starting to show blood cells that are a little short of hemoglobin. So what to do? You want to increase the absorption of the iron.
Right, so eat some meat.
By a couple maneuvers.
Yes, eat meat.
Cooking the iron-containing foods, making stews and soups with greens and beans and lentils. As the plant cells break up, the iron goes into the soup broth, and you're